Yeah, right. Good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oy ba Rabbeinu Nagila, ba Rabbeinu Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila, ba Rabbeinu Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila 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 Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila 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 Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila, ba Rabbeinu Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila, ba Rabbeinu Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila 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 Nizmecha, ba Rabbeinu Nagila 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 Nizmecha, ba. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gezintahait. Oh wait, how does Betzalel say? Hey kids, what time is it? It's time for Gezintahait Street. So here today, as you can see, Betzalel is out of town. Baruch Hashem for good things, happy occasions. But we're doing Punim today, and it's going to be a little different because as we know, Betzalel has his touch. We all have our own touch, and we're gonna have a special program today. We're gonna have some Chassidus. Hershel, that Bunim will bring us here from the Torah of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, some very special things. So, okay. So, should we start with the Torah of Rabbi Nachman?
No, we should start with the
we'll start with the story.
With the story?
And then after the story, we'll do the Torah. Which, of course, I have 3 hands. My 3 hands, two is here, and one of them shares the thing on the. Okay, so we know it's coming up. This Shabbos is this 12th of Tammuz. It's a special day. The previous Rebbe was released from. He was given a death sentence actually, and the death sentence was taken away, and he was sent in exile. He was sent out of Russia. So he was in exile. He was sent to, and he had to report to the secret police, the GPU, and I had to check in with them because this is how it is in Russia. When he appeared on YouTube, smiling of good at this point to be released. The authorities in Moscow were given and give a train ticket could return to his home in Leningrad at the time. When Rabbi Eliyahu Chaim Altois
for 6 hours.
Yeah.
There was allowed to be home for 6 hours.
Well, before they ended up getting given. Eliyahu Chaim Altois was with the Rebbe. He heard the news. It says that half of his face turned pure white, and the other half of his face turned blood red, and the Rebbe had to calm him down. Now, since this day was an official government holiday, they could not issue the actual ticket until the next day, Yud Gimel Tammuz. Now, the story goes, it says, a bird from heaven carried the good news to the few Chassidim in Kastrama, and before the Rebbe, meaning somebody slipped news, somebody, how did they say now, when they released the tag, it got leaked. It got leaked. And so they heard about it, and they already begun the celebrations. So Rabbi Michael Dvorkin was dancing around the house with a small bottle of a strong drink in his hand, and as he danced, he sang, "Niet, niet, nikava." There is nobody besides for Hashem. And he continued dancing and singing happily for over an hour. In Kastrama, the Rebbe lived with the local sheikhet, who had a young son. When the child saw everyone's joy, he also began to celebrate and walking on his hands and feet in the air, like handstands. The Rebbe teaches a story that we can learn. It's very funny, Bunny, because we were just talking about, just before the show, when we was for breaking, we was talking about how everything in life, every single thing, is a lesson in our service. Well, our Rebbe teaches that this story can serve as a lesson in our own service to Hashem. That there was 3 different responses to the good news of the Rebbe's release. Reb Michal was danced around the house with a bottle, singing exuberantly. Reb Elachayim, his face changed color, and the child walked around with his feet in the air, which is like the Baal Shem Tov story about the ignorant boy on Rosh Hashanah, and he did not know how to pray. So when he saw the people were asking Hashem, he took all his strength and he called out like a rooster, "Kukurikuru!" And this prayer was so they wanted to hit the boys. What a chutzpah, he's coming and disturbing in the shul by the Baal Shem Tov. And Baal Shem Tov said, "Wait, you didn't understand. From this boy's simple prayer, without knowing any voids and anything, he just annulled all the bad decrees in heaven." So similarly, everybody travels through these 3 stages in life: a child, an adult, and old age. Really, we actually experience these stages not just once in our life, but all the time. Because first a person achieves, meaning in any situation, that first we achieve a level of immature intellect, like moichin dekatnus, small brains, right? When we don't know yet about what's going on. It's like a child who celebrated walking on his hands, even though he had no idea that how important the news was. He saw everybody else was celebrating, he celebrated. The next level is a mature brain, moichin de gadlus, right? Like Michael, he was dancing because he understood how great this thing is. And the third thing is that a person gets yishuv hadas, a settled mind, like Rebbe Elachayim, that it says that the older a person is, the more settled is his intellect. In each case, however, those involved exceeded the ordinary level of service. He didn't enjoy. He walked on his hands. Reb Michael, who understood the miracle with his intellect, he didn't sit and expound on it and talk about it, but rather he danced like Simchas Torah. And Rebbe Elachayim, who had a settled intellect, was so overwhelmed that the previous Rebbe had to calm him. So what's the lesson? The lesson for our service is that at each stage of development should create a thereby enabling him to reach, he shouldn't stay in the same place, but rather reach a new and higher level of service. And this is what is commanded, Shema Yisrael, hear Israel. That what is in Shema Yisrael, it says, Bechol me'idecha, with all your might. Now, the key word being your, that through the service of with all your might, then you draw down a level from higher than your own might. That's from above. That comes from the two souls.
Just for clarification,
yeah.
Our sages say that Bechol me'idecha means even somebody is threatening you to take away your life.
Yeah, it means you're everything.
So the question is, what? Every time I say Shema, I should imagine that somebody is about to kill me?
Why not? On Yom Kippur, maybe.
But no.
Right, this is what they think on Yom Kippur.
I feel. So what you should think is like, I don't want. Like, if you feel like I don't want to do it, I'll be like, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's like, in a way, it's taking away your life.
Because it's the you, like you're taking away
you. And
the
that's,
ich.
And that's the yeah.
Ich is ichi.
And that's the afilu meiser.
Meaning you're giving up your whole self, your whole being, your whole everything.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Anigan first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about yet Kavod Kram Yevod Navod. Ay, 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 ay. Нет, нет, никого, кроме его одного. Ай, 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 ай. Ай-яй-ям, 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 ай-яй-яй-яй-ям, ай-яй-ям, 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 ай-яй-яй-яй-ям. Ай, нет, нет, никого, кроме его одного. Ай-яй-яй-яй-ям. Ай, нет, нет, никого, кроме его одного. Ay, 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 hey, ay, 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 hey, ay, 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 нет, нет, никого, кроме его одного. Ай, 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 нет, нет, никого, кроме его одного. Ай, 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 and now, what you gonna do? Ай, никому не верю никого, ай, только Бога одного. Не боюсь я никому и не верю никого, только Бога одного.
We did it backwards, right? That's good.
Yeah, it's backwards. Also then goes, after this goes, ой, нет, нет, не боюсь я никого, только Бога одного. Нет, нет, не боюсь я никого, только Бога одного. Нет, нет, никого. Yeah, but it's okay because with the modern technology, they can always play the YouTube or the Facebook. They can press the backwards key.
Yeah.
And now a special Torah from Rebbe Nachman of Breslov.
That's my cue?
That's your cue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gimel. So basically, Rabbi Nachman on Torah Kuf Nun A in Likutei Moharan, the first volume, right? Is that
Yeah.
Volume,
Volume, yeah.
Volume or volume?
Depends where you're from. If you're from Boston, you say volume.
And
If you're from New York, you say volume. It's
got it.
so you can't go wrong. They'll just think it's a different accent, no matter how you say it.
Okay, fine. So I'm gonna get beaten up no matter what. Okay, forgot it. He says that sadness, it's a bad trait, a bad quality. Now, God gave each person his own bag, his own baggage. We all have good qualities and bad qualities. It's not an excuse, us having bad qualities. It's not an excuse of us. That's what I got. That's what I got dealt. That's my
The
card.
hand that
That's
was
my
dealt.
card. That's the hand.
Yeah.
So, if just because you got an end, it doesn't mean that you need to accept that this is how your life are going to be. You need to accept that this is something you deal with in order for you to make your life better. But sadness is a bad quality, a bad trait. And the reason a person doesn't push himself to do stuff, he doesn't get proactive about stuff, if it's in davening, if it's traveling to a tzaddik, if it's just doing dishes at home, if it's just taking care of your yard. It all starts in being sad, lazy, and heavy. And it's all one thing. The sadness and the laziness. It's not that one person is lazy and one person is sad. No. Sadness equals laziness. And I'm not talking about sadness that somebody lost someone. Like, this is a different kind of sadness. This is a more mourning.
situational,
This is mourning and sorrow versus sadness that leads to heaviness and laziness. And sadness of losing someone could lead you to this kind of sadness of laziness. And we're also not talking about a broken heart. Lev Nishbar is a whole different kind of sadness that leads to happiness. So the difference between sadness that leads to more sadness and a sadness that leads to happiness is sadness, pure sadness would lead to more sadness. But sadness that is coming from a broken heart would lead to happiness. The outcome after, when you have a good cry of a broken heart, you're going to feel a relief and you're going to feel better. Anyway, so basically the whole thing about the sadness is a lack of emunah. Being sad is a lack of emunah. And emunah is basically translated to English belief. For me, the word belief is less intimidating than emunah, because the word emunah always is, in my brains, is connected to emunah in God, just God. But the word belief is more of like, oh, you need to believe in yourself, you know. It's more of a belief than in more stuff than just God. So any of the situations that we spoke before, it's all lack of belief, like you're not 100% believing in the process or what's going on. Because if you believe in the process, you would have done it, no questions asked, and you would have felt good about it. For example, if you feel like you're having a very hard time davening, if it's laziness for davening or sadness that hard for you to open a siddur and daven shachris, it's coming from a lack of emunah that somebody is actually listening, standing behind you and listening. If you would believe that somebody actually sits behind you and listens to you, you wouldn't have been sad, because you would be like a happy, like a conversation with a friend. You could be sad, but you're gonna go ahead and talk, even if you have like stuff sitting on your heart that makes you heavy. You're gonna actually go into this conversation and convey it in a you know, with passion and convincing and pushing it over, you know, like a conversation. Like right now, I believe that you're listening. So if I wouldn't believe that you're listening, I would have sound much more sleepy, you know.
Oh wait, is the Wi-Fi on? Just kidding.
Anybody there? So, and basically, so emunah is basically like land. When you have a good land, and you want to plant wheat or anything in it, it will grow so nice and strong that even good wind, a storm, it will rip the roof from the neighbor's house, but your plants are going to survive. And you can see it all the time here in Pittsburgh. People have great yards, and storms come, sidings flying, but the tomatoes are still good, right?
Exactly. It's
So-
still good tomatoes.
The tomatoes are still tomatoes. But if you are planting it in a rocky, tomatoes in a rocky or in a desert or in the beach sand, this thing is just 10 years later, you're going to come. All you're going to see is like sand or a rock. It's going to rotten away and not even going to give any impact. So the same thing is emunah. And emunah is like a land. If you are able to bring your emunah to be a fertile land, you are gonna stay. You're gonna be drifting away from sadness and depression. And how do we connect the land to emunah? So Rabbi Nachman brings a pasuk and a gemara. The pasuk is from Megillat Esther. Ve'i omenet adasa. You let me know when I need to wrap it
You're
up.
good.
The pasuk is Ve'i omenet hadasa. Omen is a language of emunah, and this is how you know that he was raising her, he was growing her, growing. It's a language of gidul. In Hebrew, gidul is raising and growing. It's the same word, and this is how you know that the energy of raising is in the land, and emunah is the same thing as growing. And the second pasuk, the second thing is from the Gemara Shabbos. It says that emunah ze seder zraim, that you understand from it, because the seeds is basically faith, emunah, belief. So you understand from it that you have the energy of growth and sprouting comes from the land, and the land is emunah. I'm maybe a little bit getting ahead of myself here and confusing, but I understand that. I can assure you that. Right?
Correct.
So basically, if you're able to strengthen your emunah, you will be able to be in a much happier place. And another very vital part of it is patience. Patience and tolerance is something that helps bring emunah, and emunah helps bring patience and tolerance. And you learn it from another quality that it's one of the 13 qualities of Hashem, right?
Yeah,
Traits.
you
Yes. I don't know how to
13 attributes, but it's
attributes.
The same. It's a quality.
It's a quality. It's a
Attribute
trait. Quality.
Yeah, a trait, same thing. Yeah.
It's a. So it's called erech hapayim. Erech hapayim. How do you translate it properly to English?
Erech hapayim is like a long,
tough.
a long fuse.
In a direct translation, it means a long nose.
This is why I say a long fuse.
A long nose.
This is the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah. And what's the opposite of a long nose? Like erech hapayim, it's like you're lingering you nose. You know, the nose, according to Judaism, it's an indicator of a mood. They said about about Reuven and Shimon.
Yeah.
That ki be'apam argu ish.
Yeah, they killed them with
They
nose.
killed them with their nose.
But they
just
didn't
because
kill nobody with their nose, actually.
But the Gemara explained that just by like giving them an eye, you say in Hebrew you want to say like ikmu et ha'af, they crooked their nose, but it's like giving them the eye, like come on, and this was kind of killing the person, like killing the vibe. So basically, erech hapayim is be able to lingering your anger, to lingering yourself, to tolerate what's going around, patience, and the patience leads to belief. When you have a 5-year-old, trying to I would say it on a 2-year-old, trying to eat with a spoon. If you don't have patience, you will never eat from a spoon. But in order for you to see that he is making a progress and taking one spoon in, and you're like, oh! If you didn't have the patience, you wouldn't have get to the point that you could see that he's doing it. So you wouldn't believe that he can actually do it. But because you sit and wait and give him a chance, even if it takes him a while.
And the other way around too, no? Because
he believes in himself because he sees that he succeeds.
But also, if you didn't believe that it's going to happen, you wouldn't have the patience to wait to see it also.
So
it's both ways.
So it's both ways, and you don't have to start from one way or another. You could start from either way. You can start from the patience or from the belief.
Join the party whenever you want.
Yes, exactly. And there is a third part of it, but I don't think we're going to get to it today. But
what's the third part?
The third part is Eretz Yisrael.
So let's say.
But 1 second, we're not there yet. This is why I'm saying we might not going to get to it. So now, the opposite of erech hapayim is the patience. Is charon af. It's another quality, right?
Not so quality, but it's a negative quality. It's the opposite quality.
It's opposite.
Listen, each of the 13 qualities has an opposite quality.
There is a concept זה לעומת זה עשה.
Yeah, this
Everything-
against this. This across from this.
It created something. It created a man. It created a woman. Right? That's the best
No,
example.
this is why we say across from it, not against
Across.
it.
עזר כנגדה.
Yeah, help across from
Across,
yeah.
right. But
But keneged could also mean against, but really it's the same meaning, the two words. It's just we're using them in a different context sometimes.
he created evil and he created holiness and greatness and goodness. And there is only enough power to thrive one or the other. You can either be angry or you can be calm. You don't have enough power to operate anger at the same time. So either you have anger in you or you can work on it and be a patient person.
Right. Also like in a response to a child, even if you're a man or a woman, you have to sometimes choose: am I gonna respond to the child in a more masculine way or in a more feminine way?
Right.
And you can it's one or the other.
It's one or the other. Everything is one or the other. There is no both. And this is why we need more than one person in order to.
That's why you have a tati and a mami.
Yep. And we need to remember that people are different, and the difference is what creates life. Anyway, so where was I?
Yeah.
So in order for you to be able to be patient, Emunah is Charon Af is basically the Gemara says Kol hakoes kilu oved avodah zara. Everybody who is getting angry is like making avodah zara, and the only way to uproot it avodah zara is through Emunah, and Emunah gives you patience. So in order for you to stop being angry, you need to have the patient. And Emunah helps you uprooting the avodah zara from the world, not only within your own self, in the whole world, and all of that connects to Eretz Israel. That the third part of all of it is to come to a level of Eretz Israel, and that we know that Erech HaPaim is a level and a concept of Eretz Israel, and we learn it from two psukim as well, from a pasuk and from a Gemara. Okay, so the pasuk is in Tehillim Lamed Zayin. It says, "Shchon Eretz ure'eh emunah," live in the land and graze faith. You've grazed belief, right? Re'eh emunah is graze the belief. Now, this all Tehillim is talking about how you see so many people that going through doing so many bad stuff to you, but it tells you, with all of that, patience. You will see how for you at the end is going to be good, and for the bad guy is going to be bad. This is the whole capital of Tehillim. This is what it talks over there. And then in the Gemara in Ketuvos it said, "Kol adar be'eretz Yisrael dome kemi sheyesh lo eloka." Every person who lives in Eretz Israel, you can look at them and see like a person who have emunah. You have God.
Yeah.
נמצא שארץ ישראל הוא בחינת אמונה. You could see from there that the land of Eretz Israel, because you have like live in the land, and it tells you in another place that a land of Eretz Israel is a person who have God. So you could be in any stages of these 3 points, that believing in Eretz Israel makes you like to be a person who have belief, and belief leads you to be calm, and calm leads you to be in Eretz Israel. So you don't have to start to move towards Israel or to start with belief or with patience. You can join the party, as Mendel said, at any of those points, and this is the best, easiest way to fight sadness. Obviously, you could keep going to therapy.
Yeah, you can do this. Well, I mean, listen, the therapist has to make a parnasa also.
But patience, like be patient on yourself. Go easy on yourself.
And others.
Go
and
easy
yourself.
on yourself. On others, it's easy.
I don't know. Sometimes
You don't have to go to sleep with others.
Sometimes a person goes easy on himself, and the other. It goes both ways sometimes.
Yes.
Depends on the person, I think.
But the main thing is tolerate your actions and be patient with yourself.
And usually,
and that's going to lead you to the greatest joy.
If you're going to be, usually a person is not okay with other people. Is really the root is he's not okay with himself. So you'll be okay with yourself, then
tolerate
easy
yourself.
to be
Tolerate
okay
yourself,
with
because
other
if you would have been your friend and you would have went through the same thing, you would have tell him that, come on, it's okay.
Yeah, no big deal.
Not a big deal.
So you made a mistake, and then it's yourself. Oh no, I made a mistake. I made the whole thing messed up.
The only a successful man is a person who started 10 businesses and went bankrupt, and he's starting his 11.
Still going.
Still trying the next one. This is success.
He didn't.
But a guy who made one business, and he closed, this is a failure. Because why? Because you feel a failure and you're not going to do it again.
He made one and spends the rest of his life beating himself up over it.
So success is to try again. This is success. There is no success without trying again.
So now I nigin, and then we'll remember this. ורחק מפנינים מיחם
פתח בו לבעלה ושלל לא יחסם גם לעשותי ולעירה כל ימי חייהו דורשות צמר ובפשתים מטס בחפץ כפהו או יסוק אני יסחר ממרחק תביא לחמו ותקום ויועד לילה ותיתן טרף לביסו וחייק לנחויסו זומם הסודה ותיקחהו מפרי כפהו נתקם חגרו ויעז מייסנהו ותיאמץ רעיסהו תעמוק איתו אל סחרו לא יכבה בלילה נרו יודע שלחו בקישו וחפהו תמכו בולך כפו בו סולני ויודע שלחו לא אביון לא יסירו ביסו משולק כי כל ביסו לבושנים מעבדים עשסו לו שגמן לבושנו ידע בשערים בעלום ושבטים זקני יורץ סדין עשסו ותמכה וחגון אוזנו לכנעני אוי ידע לבושו ותזרק יום אחרי ביה פסחה וחכמה וסיירס חסד על שוינו זויפיה וליחויס ואיזו וחמצלוס לא יסייכל כמו בניה וישרוה בעלה ויעלה עבד בבייס עשו חיים ויעתו לי יסל כולנו שקר אכן ובלי יביא אישה ירז אדוני תזלל תנו לו מפרי ידהו ויעללו בשורים מעשיה.
Okay, Chassidus part 2. Chassidus brought 4 innovations into the world.
4 innovations?
4 innovations, 4 new things. One, the Baal Shem Tov awakened the world from a spiritual coma. Two, is that a chassid is not satisfied with fulfilling the minimum requirement, but rather he or she goes beyond the letter of the law in everything they do. And everything means everything. Chassidus, the third thing is that Chassidus empowers a person to change their nature so that they can change from one who is self-serving to one who serves Hashem. 4, Chassidus revealed the hidden levels of Torah. Right? You have the Soid, the Kabbalah, which was originally hidden only for a few select people, and through Chassidus it became that everybody can access it. How? By using down-to-earth metaphors, mashalim, so that even the animal soul can relate to Hashem. In this way, Chassidus enabled everybody, even those without a lofty soul, who before only they could understand it, but everybody could understand godliness through their intellect, and it eliminated the need to crush the body through fasting and other forms of self-mortification, which is how they used to do before, as a means to reach a state of purity that would allow them to understand Hashem. Now, Chassidus revealed at least 4 new aspects of Torah and godly service. Nevertheless, Chassidus is not defined by specific acts, and it's not limited to specific ideas. Rather, it is a point, a nekuda, a way of comprehending Hashem. Therefore, the superior qualities that Chassidus revealed do not define the essence of Chassidus. The essence of Chassidus, rather, is the quintessential point that is completely abstract and separate from the qualities which branch out from it. However, because of it, those qualities exist. Even though each one of those qualities, just like, like by Hashem, He has qualities, He's kind, He's merciful, but kind does not define Him, and merciful does not define Him. Now this point is why, because it's a new light that came out from the innermost level of godly Keser, the crown of Hashem, and even higher than this, meaning from the highest reaches of creation. And because Chassidus, it's not just an idea, but rather it is the idea is a coming down of the godly light itself, of Hashem's infinite light. And that's why it is just like Hashem Himself, even though it has all these qualities, the qualities cannot define it. The detailed ideas that are manifest to Chassidus, they are only ramifications of the actual point, which the actual point is unified. It's a thing that's a yochid. It really in itself is a pure, simple light, and the essence is not made of separate pieces. Now, Torah is the epitome of perfection. Torah is perfect. Now, generally, we know people aren't perfect, and the world isn't perfect, but the Torah is perfect. And its perfection is both in terms of the intellect of Torah, as well as the emotional things of parts of Torah. For example, when to be kind and when to have strength and when to have judgment. That right when people say, "Oh, I don't know," the people say, "Oh, how can I believe in a God who says?" Wait a second, you decide what's right, and now you're going to decide if God is right or wrong, or God decides what's right. And now so this is Torah. So by us with Jews, we accept the Torah, and we accept that what it says in the Torah is right, and what it says, with the famous story with King Shaul, King Saul, how did he lose the kingdom for his family? Because Shmuel told him to kill all of Amalek, and to kill even the animals, what they say, and he came and they was making sacrifice. He says, "What's this?" He says, "Oh, we took the animals to sacrifice to Hashem," and he says. And Shmuel answers him, "This is what Hashem does. He want your sacrifices, or more than that, He wants that you listen to what He's telling you to do."
Right?
Yeah. Now the Torah contains the highest level of intellect. Why? Because like it says, Kihi chochmoscha ubinoscha. Right? It is your chachma and your bina. It's not something a person came up with, but rather it is his intellect. And even greater than that, the Torah is the life source of the entire world. In fact, the existence of the world depends on a small detail in the Torah. Right? The whole world, if one small detail in the Torah would be different, there could be no world. But the essence of Torah is much higher than just enlivening a universe. Rather, the essence of Torah is bonded to the Infinite One, blessed be He. And therefore, it automatically includes all perfection, for just as He is perfect, so too it is perfect. And the essence of Torah, the way it is bound with the Infinite One, is realized through Chassidus. The other parts of Torah, Pardes, right, Pshat, Remez, Drush, Soid, right, they all express the point in a specific way. However, since Chassidus is not confined to any of these specific ways, it can express the unlimitedness of the Ein Sof in any level of Torah interpretation, and this is why we see, as we was just learning from Rebbe Nachman, we see that he was bringing also a Gemara and also a Pasuk, and also he brings from Kabbalah. And why? Because the Chassidus is connected to that point, which is unified and infinite, and therefore it is not limited to only one part of Torah, but rather it can deal with all parts of the Torah.
Everything is interconnected.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready? Gezintahait, Gezintahait, Gezintahait. That's right. Gezintahait, everybody. More. Oh, just end.